it's a scary scene. That's something that a lot of people haven't dealt with. It's something that a lot of people weren't prepared for at all. This happened kind of overnight, and that's no hyperbole there.
Many British Columbians have evacuated their homes due to torrential rains and landslides that have forced the closure of several major highways and the evacuation of the entire town of Merritt, about 200 kilometers northeast of Vancouver. That city's wastewater treatment plant has failed, and residents have been told to find somewhere safe to stay outside the community.
Rain is pretty scarce in Merritt, and we don't often see the ill effects of a rainfall. But I guess what compounds it is the Coldwater River. A lot of that runoff is from the Coquihalla Highway.
The Coquihalla Highway is one of several major routes connecting the BC coast to the interior that are now effectively blocked. What's more, mudslides trapped around 250 people overnight on Highway 7, just east of Agassiz, with no food, no water, and no way in or out, with stranded motorists relying on each other for supplies. The province says search and rescue teams, along with the Canadian forces, are on the way to attempt an air rescue. But officials aren't sure how many people might be unaccounted for.
We don't know if we are safe. We don't know what's going to happen. There's a lot of work that has to be done.
We see maybe not this heavy, but, some kind of a atmospheric river every, few years. But this one is more intense. I think we have to go back to 1983 to have this kind of devastation and effects.
Brent Ward says an atmospheric river, a narrow band of concentrated moisture, produced much of the rain. But the situation was not helped by melting snow from higher elevations in the interior.
We've got a lot of development on floodplains, and, we have, culverts that are supposed to take the water from the floodplain and into the river. But when the river gets really high, that water can't go anywhere.
To add another complication to relief efforts, Environment Canada says strong winds are coming once the rain clears up. Winds strong enough to knock out power in some regions.
Definitely a very windy day with wind warnings out for much of the south coast and into the interior. With gusts up to 90. So those are very strong winds that usually cause damage, cause breakages in tree branches and uprooting trees.
Merritt resident Jarrett Thomas says his family evacuated at around 4:30 Monday morning. Fortunately, he still had his emergency bag from the summer wildfires, but Thomas says he still hasn't heard when it might be safe to go home.
We were playing in puddles yesterday with my son and having a good time, but you didn't really think or expect that it would lead to such a runoff in the river and cause the flooding we're seeing today.
In Ottawa, Xiao Li, City News.